Several years ago, sitting on the bench at a basketball game, surrounded by the usual chatter and cheer, I overheard something unexpected. A teenager's profound words. If you do not value your time, no one will. These simple yet powerful words immediately caught my attention. Who was offering such insightful advice and to whom? It turned out to be one teenager chatting casually with a friend. I couldn't believe it. You'd expect to hear these words from business leaders or successful business owners, not at all from a high school student at a basketball game. To have such a realization at a young age, I can only guess she has a good leader as a parent who understands the value of time. I quickly jotted down the phrase on my phone. As a small business owner, those words carry immense weight. In the digital age, where distractions are endless and time management skills are one of the most important things for a small business owner to master, this was the reminder I didn't know I needed. Why value your time? Why the value of your time matters, friend. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on that moment, still to this day, even though it's been years later. Why did this one statement resonate with me so much? I realized it was because I struggle to practice what I preach sometimes, valuing my time. Growing up, my mom instilled in me core values like putting others first and being considerate of other people's times. These lessons were a blessing in my personal life, but a challenge in my business. Like many new business owners, I often find myself putting my clients' needs, my team members, and my day-to-day tasks ahead of my own goals. And here's the truth, and a nice, hard reminder that if you don't prioritize important tasks that move your business forward, your business growth will suffer in the long run. Without proper strategic planning or focus on your revenue generating activities, it's easy to fall into the trap of poor time management. The first step to avoid this is to conduct a time audit. I know. But one of the best ways to regain control of your schedule is by conducting a time audit. This process helps you understand exactly how you're spending your working days. And here's how you start, friend. Track your time. Yup, I know. It feels like a lot. But I want you to write down every activity you do over a week. Include everything from answering your emails, handling those customer service issues, to all your personal errands, the things that your kids need even when you're at home, and social media scrolling if you get caught in that. I know, right? It's not the most fun activity, but at the end of the day, it will provide valuable insight into where you are spending your time. Number 2, I want you to categorize those tasks. Separate your tasks into strategic activities, day-to-day operations, and where you waste time. Number 3, I want you to evaluate your ROI. So ask yourself, is this worth the dollar value of my time for each task? Use your hourly rate as a benchmark to assess whether a task is worth doing yourself or it should be delegated and outsourced. I find so often that online business owners devalue the actual worth of their time when it comes to doing tasks. I want to talk a minute then about strategic delegation. This is the easier way to save time. Once you've completed your time audit, the next step is to determine which tasks to delegate. Successful business owners know that their valuable assets include not only their expertise, but also their ability to focus on long-term goals and business success. Virtual assistants can handle those routine tasks like managing your to-do list or scheduling social media posts. This is extremely important if you're somebody that struggles to say no to things that you should not be doing. Is having a virtual assistant, managing your to-do list, and setting that up in a project management system like Asana or Trello or something along that lines. They're delegating to you the most important things that you need to get done in a day. Automating your repetitive tasks with tools like that project management software, using Zapier or another sort of plugin that does some of that automation for you is another good time management technique that frees up additional time. When I did this activity, I took the number of hours I was spending on tasks and I gave them a dollar value. The bottom line is that it was eye-opening to see how much money I was potentially leaving on the table if I continued to spend my time on tasks that were better outsourced or delegated to my team members. These strategies allow you to focus on the most important things: growing your client base, creating a healthy work-life balance, and building that successful business of your dreams. So how do you actually identify tasks for you to delegate? One of the best tools that I've used for this is the Eisenhower Matrix, a simple framework that categorizes tasks based on urgency and importance. And here's how it works. So your urgent and important, that's in one bucket or one square of your Eisenhower Matrix. These are the things you do yourself immediately because they need your attention and they're going to give you the most bang for your buck. Important but not urgent. Schedule these for later. These are things that you can hold on to, but yet will come at a different time. Urgent but not important. Delegate these tasks to somebody else, friend. Not urgent and not important. Those things should be eliminated altogether. If they're not urgent and they're not important, you really need to look at why you're doing them. When I started to use this tool, I realized I was spending a lot of time on tasks that were necessary but not impactful, like creating graphics, uploading my podcast, and publishing my blog post. At first, I thought I can't afford to hire help. But the truth was, if I stayed buried in these tasks, I wouldn't have the time to focus on the work that truly made a difference for my clients. And another point, I had to realize the hard truth that if I was not bringing in revenue and driving profit in my business, I didn't actually have a business. When I decided to hire a content VA to handle those routine tasks, it took me a long time to do all the number crunching. But this decision freed me to focus on what I do best, helping those solo entrepreneurs take back their valuable time by creating strategies that prioritize revenue-generating activities through content creation. If you're not ready to hire help yet, that's okay, friends. Start by identifying the tasks that you could delegate in the future. Then, when you're ready, you'll have a clear plan of what to offload because you've already taken the time to set up those checklists and those systems that you'll be able to hand over to them bit by bit. That's always my suggestion to anybody that's starting to hire somebody. You start to offboard those things slowly by slowly. But before you do that, you prepare for that offboarding by setting up your systems, using Toggle to do your recording of the step-by-step on how you do things, setting up your project management software with that, or maybe record your Toggle and then have your new virtual assistant actually set up the process in your project management system. Because strategic delegation is a game changer for small business owners, I promise you. Delegating isn't just about lightening your workload. It's about using your time more strategically. Tasks like managing your to-do list, scheduling social media posts, or creating graphics can often be handled by a virtual assistant or automated with tools like project management softwares. For instance, content creation is a time-consuming but essential part of running a successful business. That's why I offer content repurposing services to help small business owners maximize the value of their existing content. Friend, you are sitting on a gold mine of content in your business. I'm sure you are. When is the last time that you looked at that content, given it new life, and brought it up into your social media marketing content strategy? Whether it's transforming your podcast into a blog post, turning your blog content into social media post, using that old blog content to be a script for your podcast or your YouTube video, creating an email series from your top performing episodes, I specialize in helping you get the most out of your content that you've already created. The link to work with me is down below in the show notes, friends. Take advantage of it. These strategies allow you to focus on the most important things, growing your client base, because when you repurpose your content, that helps put your authority content out there in the world. What is your authority platform? It's huge to know that, because that is where you're going to achieve those long-term goals and build a healthy work-life balance for yourself. It's a great idea to plan your week. So pick a day of the week where you're going to sit down and map out the week ahead. You can do this on a Friday afternoon. You can do this on a Sunday. You can do this the first hour on a Monday morning. It doesn't matter. But after completing a time audit, it's time to put all that insight to work. One of the best ways to gain clarity on how to manage your time effectively is by creating a time bank. For me, using a spreadsheet to map out my 24-hour day was a huge eye-opener. I blocked every hour of the day and color-coded the time based on how I was spending it. My daily tasks, my family time, personal activities, how much time I was sleeping, my morning routine, and the downtime that I needed in the evening before I went to bed to get a good night's sleep. Seeing your time blocks visually makes it clear where you're overspending time and where you have room to improve. This method is a great way to incorporate time management tools into your routine without overcomplicating things. If you're a paper and pen girl, no worries. Just draw out your timeline from midnight to 11:59 p.m. or midnight to midnight, and actually block out that time with highlighters so you can visually see where you are with your time, because that will help you visualize your schedule and make adjustments to reclaim your day and your time. Here are key questions I want you to ask yourself. 1, where are you giving too much time? Are there activities that eat up more time than they should? For example, are you spending too much time on email or perfecting small details that don't significantly impact your business? If you're spending too much time responding to emails and thinking about it, it is a perfect time to create yourself either a Word doc with canned email responses, so that gives you a place to start, or using Google's canned responses in Gmail. 2 great ways to be able to handle your email without getting bogged down and trying to write them from scratch every single time. When you recognize these areas can help you free up time for revenue generating activities, the tasks that actually will maximize your productivity and grow your business. Number 2, are you avoiding tasks you don't like? Be honest with yourself here. Do you find yourself gravitating toward tasks you enjoy that could be easily delegated while procrastinating on the ones you dislike? Like, say, doing any sales calls? While it's natural to want to spend time on things you love, I get it. I love to dive into the things I love as well. Back office operations, hello, yes, you are for me. But effective time management means balancing your enjoyable tasks with the essentials, even if they aren't your favorite things to do. Number 3, how can you cut down and refocus? Once you have identified where your time is going, use the insight to make changes. I want you to look for opportunities to streamline or delegate tasks that aren't worth your valuable time. By doing this, you can create a realistic weekly plan that aligns with your priorities and allows you to focus on the important tasks. When you're planning out your week, make sure you're putting in the big rocks first. Those personal time, the things that have to get done that are on your calendar. The power of planning your week allows for so much. When you use your time bank as the foundation for planning, you'll find it's easier to set realistic goals and actually stick to them, because you'll understand how much time you have to dedicate to your goals. Combining this approach with productivity tips like batching similar tasks, using project management tools, or setting time limits for specific activities. I find if I sit down and write out 4 or 5 blog posts at one time, yes, that many blog posts at one time, it is so much easier for me to do than if I were to write the blog post and then do all the steps that come after that. It is better for me to be in writing mode when I'm in writing mode, and then when I'm in my project management tool, I can make sure that I'm getting all the other tasks that support that piece of content done. As a former online business manager, I've worked with several small businesses to understand the power of planning your week. Like you, they started a business for freedom of time, and planning a week made them feel as if that freedom was taken away. But these strategies not only boost your effective time management, friend, they also reduce that mental load of constantly deciding what to do next. Planning your week doesn't just help you get more done, it gives you the freedom to enjoy your downtime with your family without the guilt because you're taking control of your schedule. Hearing those words from a teenager reminded me to take small steps towards valuing my time. Since then, I've prioritized my most productive time for strategic planning and creative work while delegating tasks that don't require my direct input. This podcast, recording this, I'm the only one that can do it. But all the things associated with the editing and creating the graphics and the promotional content for it, that is something my content VA can easily do for me. The result, not only am I spending more quality time with clients and team members, but I've also lowered my stress levels and found more free time to enjoy the things that matter most in my personal life. Okay, friends, I've talked long enough. It's time to wrap this up. If you've ever felt like there aren't enough hours in the day, it's time to take control, friend. Conduct a time audit, delegate effectively, and embrace good time management strategies. As the teenager's wise words taught me, if you do not value your time, no one else will. Thank you, friends, so much for listening. I appreciate you and I value your time, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.